All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So we have some big news about XRP, a patent for Ripple's technology with Bank of America, what Gemini is posting with these riddles, and the rest of the crypto market, what's happening with Binance and BNB that you need to be aware of, and Grayscale spotlighting XRP. We're talking about the XRP price chart, what's happening with Bitcoin, liquidations, all that big stuff that you need to know in these markets right now. So hang tight, you guys are gonna love this video, and then we're talking about the psychology of a market cycle and what to expect the rest of this bull run. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, let's run it. All right, welcome back to the channel. So looking at Binance's Bitcoin liquidation heat map right here, which shows where the majority of leverage is at for Bitcoin. We can see upwards of $42,000 right here, where there's about $113 million on the 3-day. If we zoom out to the week, we can see a massive amounts of leverage to the upside, even all the way to $45,000. Now, the further out we zoom, we can see leverage in either direction. So a lot of people right now are calling for, a short squeeze for the CME gap on Bitcoin to be filled. For example, right here, if we go Bitcoin to the USDT price chart, we could see Bitcoin stayed at 39,000, broke below $40,000. But on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, when the price closes on Friday, for example, for those of you guys wondering what the CME gap is, Bitcoin CME gaps are the differences in price between the closing price on a given trading day and the opening price on the following trading day on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So it's operating as a marketplace, for various financial derivatives, commodities, and other investment instruments. And so they arise from the fact that the crypto market, it's open 7 days a week, whereas traditional markets, are closed. Like if you try and trade stocks on, Robinhood or Webull, you won't be able to do that on weekends. And so that's why crypto is so exciting for people, because no one wants to wait until Monday. People want to be able to trade and have fun Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so on Bitcoin's chart, CME gaps are found by comparing the price levels at which the Friday close and Monday open differ. These gaps are frequently noticed by traders because they might later serve as support and resistance levels. So there are multiple variations of Bitcoin CME gaps. And as you guys can see right here, the main CME gap was, right under 40K and just right above $39,000. So the candle, if we close below this, the next stop for Bitcoin to the downside is roughly right around $37,700 to $38,500 for the next stop. So we need to watch the RSI, because as you can see, the RSI is sitting at 35 right now. So the momentum is in favor of the bears. But during periods where we see, sell-offs like this, we see massive red candles, and then we see little relief rallies right here. So if we were to see Bitcoin hold above, $38,000, the next relief rally for Bitcoin could come all the way back up to $44,000. And so if we zoom in here on the liquidation heat map, you guys can see on the 3-day candles right here, this is where most of the leverage is at, where people would be shorting the market right around $41,900 to $42,100. And so if we wick above that, coming all the way upwards of 42, 43 to 44K, we would basically liquidate. It would liquidate all these leverage traders right here to the upside. And then I believe we would continue. So the chart could look something like this. If we hold this this week, we could see Bitcoin rally up in the short term, and then we would continue the downtrend, and it would look like this. Because in previous videos, I've talked about this, guys, with the 618 retracement. I'm not going to cover it too much in this video, but Bitcoin went upwards of $49,000, about $500 above the 618 retracement. In every single prior bull run, Bitcoin's done a 618 retracement. It's seen a sell-off going into the halving. And so my price target for Bitcoin up until the halving is anywhere between $30,000 to $35,000. So I do think we have lower to go in the short term. And I want to talk about how that affects XRP, because as you guys can see on XRP to the US dollar price chart, XRP is sitting at 32 on the RSI. So we can see this falling wedge right here, lower highs. We can also see, lower lows. It's coiling up down here. So if XRP drops a little bit further to the downside, I would expect a rebound somewhere off of this upward trending support right here. And XRP's resistance to the upside is right around 57 cents. You can see how it coincides with this downward trending resistance right here, and also the horizontal resistance, which acted as support from the 22nd of November. You can also see the 5th of December, and we can see the 18th of December right here. And so I would expect this to act as resistance for XRP to coil up within here. And then if we see another fall off of a shelf for Bitcoin to go down to, 33K, 35K, somewhere down there, I would expect XRP to break to the downside and find a low before we work our way out of here after Bitcoin's halving. So this is what I'm expecting for XRP. If it does this, if XRP goes down to 44 cents, 43, I will personally be buying more XRP. But that's what I'm expecting, guys. So I look at the negative and I think very indifferently about it. That's the major key. And I know you understand this. You're very intelligent. When the charts go down, new traders come in and they see the price of their favorite crypto asset going down and they're like, oh no, this project's crap. Well, they don't realize how the market cycles move. We've been bullish for months. You look at Bitcoin's price chart, and how long has Bitcoin been bullish, guys? Since November, right? Middle of November, even since September. So, if we measure from right here, from that crash back in August, over 140, almost 150 days. So 4 or 5 months, so we're bound to see several months of negative price action. Now, I do think there's going to be relief rallies, and I do think a relief rally will be happening going into February. And then I'll be talking about the gravestone doji candle that I talked about in previous videos on the month. If we close, let me zoom in here on the monthly candle for you guys so you can see this. If we close a little bit higher, like if we close around $40,000 or a little bit higher for Bitcoin, we see this long upper wick right here. That is not good news for Bitcoin, because if you see long upper wicks, then that means a reversal is coming in the opposite direction. So for example, you can see a short wick right here back in 2019, a short wick right here, a long upper wick, another long upper wick, price reversal to the downside. And so you can see these wicks to the upside are the relief rallies on the weekly, which would bring Bitcoin back up 44,000, maybe $46,000. But I don't think we're going back to 49 or 50K until the end of 2024. So you have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So 8 to 12 months. You have 8 to 12 months to accumulate as much crypto as you possibly can, because what's happening right now is the groundwork is being laid by the financial institutions, by the banks, by these massive companies like BlackRock. The ETF, the sell the news event, it's funny how that works out, but people buy the rumors, guys. They sell the news. Now you know what's going to happen for Ethereum, right? When Ethereum's ETF is coming out, well, people are going to be buying the rumors, and most likely when Ethereum ETF comes around Bitcoin's halving or after Bitcoin's halving, well, then it's probably going to be a sell the news event too. Just be ready for that. Now, after the SEC versus Ripple case is finally closed in April, around then, Grayscale will reboot its single asset XRP trust and begin accumulating at a rapid pace, according to Chad Steingraber right here. And so as you guys know, Grayscale paid XRP no mind. They kind of put it to the side, and now them talking about it again, they're going to be getting ready for that. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, when he was asked about, the XRP ETF, he simply just smiled and laughed, and his body language in that video was basically, don't talk about this because we're doing something much bigger than that, which would be his CBDC plan on the XRP ledger with these patents that we're going to be sharing with you guys. And we unveiled in previous videos for the entire, banking infrastructure across the globe. So Jeremy Hogan posted this on Twitter. Another thing to be aware of is the SEC versus Binance hearing on his conclusions. Secondary sales from Binance got the thumbs up. Fair notice and major questions doctrine, SEC got the thumbs up. CZ Binance, CZ thumbs up. Howey Test, SEC thumbs up. If you hold the BNB token, thumbs down. You might want to consider, take a good hard look at the sell button is what he's saying right there. And so I personally don't hold any BNB, but what I would expect to happen here, guys, is there to be a massive shakeout for the BNB token. You can see it's down 3% over the past week. It's actually holding up better than Ethereum, Bitcoin. Solana's down 11%, but it has a $45 billion market cap. So if there is a major sell-off in BNB, that liquidity would flow into these other projects, right? It would flow into XRP, it would flow into Solana, it would flow into Dogecoin, Avalanche. And if we saw BNB drop, it would drop below Solana and XRP, and then XRP and Solana would battle it out for that number 4 position. Or in this case, it's a number 3 position because USDT doesn't count. And then later on in 2024 or 2025, we'll talk about USDT imploding. It's going to happen, and this will be the black swan event that you need to be ready for. So USDT it's not going to be around long term, guys. It's a disaster waiting to happen. It's going to fall apart. This will be one of the biggest black swan events, is USDT completely falling apart. And so just be ready for that. And then they come in with their CBDCs, they white knight the industry, and then the CBDCs could be listed on here. Like if I was a central bank, that's what I would do. I mean, you have all the money and the power in the world. What would you do? You would basically come in with your own CBDC. You get the market cap of your CBDC, your stablecoin, up here on the top 10, and then you would allow it to be traded in and out of, like Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and other crypto assets. So that way you earn fees, and that's like your own tax revenue that you're generating from your own stablecoin. Now, looking at Gemini, guys, this is interesting. They posted on January 21st, yesterday, saying, don't forget about XRP. Then a few hours later, they said X cited about XRP. Then a few hours later, X arriving shortly. In response to that, now they say, can you solve this riddle? In the land of giants, I'm swift and small. When I run, I don't stall. Across borders, I freely roam. In markets near and far from home. What am I? The answer will be posted in 24 hours. Or they already posted the answer. It's XRP. Something's coming, right? In the land of giants, I'm swift and small. Swift, that's already integrated with the banking system. Ripple's technology is going to integrate with Swift. XRP is small compared to Swift. When I run, I don't stall. That's XRP. Guys, when XRP runs, it's most likely comparing to the past bull run right here. So when XRP ran, it ran really quick and it didn't really stall. I mean, on this price chart, it doesn't show. But you guys know that 2017, 2018 rally, XRP didn't stall. In markets near and far from home, I freely roam. Well, that's XRP, right? Whether it's in the United States or globally, it's helping solve a banking problem across the globe. Now, here's one thing that's interesting with Bank of America too. This is on Google Patents. So an official patent owned by and assigned to Bank of America. Now, this was back in 2018. So this has been planned for a long time, guys. Bitcoin, beta test coin created by the NSA. And so, Bitcoin is the social experiment. One thing that this is the reason why I don't trust Bitcoin, is because you don't know who created it. So Jamie Dimon, as criminal as that guy is, and as corrupt as he is, and how much he's been fined for the criminal activities and how much he bashes Bitcoin, he does have a good point that Satoshi could come out from hiding whenever he wants. And Satoshi could be somebody that works at the NSA, that just comes out and say, this was the biggest social experiment of all time, and XRP is the final product. XLM, XDC, HBAR, Algorand, the ISO compliant projects, these are going to be the ones that are going to integrate with the new financial system. So I would expect something like that to happen. I wouldn't be surprised. And the reason why is because when we look on this document right here, if we rotate it for you guys so you can see this, you can see right here, FX payments, Ripple's distributed ledger technology is on here, and Ripple's interledger protocol is on here. So why would Bank of America own a patent that says they're going to be using Ripple's distributed ledger technology and Ripple's ILP, that stands for interledger protocol, if they weren't going to have a plan to use it? Common sense, right? This isn't rocket science here. I'm not showing you guys some, future telling thing. I'm showing you a fact of what's happening, right? Option to eliminate need for physical accounts at partner institutions. Real-time advising of payments to beneficiary. I think that says F11 or whatever that is, technology performs real-time monitoring and analysis of distributed ledger to provide adjusted net settlement instructions throughout the day over traditional clearing chips. Opportunity for alternative implementation of the GL use case by introducing a distributed general ledger account. Okay, so Bank of America planning something big. Now listen to this, because the CEO of Bank of America over in Davos, on Basel III Endgame, as you guys know, I think it was a video like 2 days ago, I talked about Basel III and how they did a test and with Ripple's technology, and it was successful along with Ethereum. Well, he's saying a 20% increase to their capital doesn't make sense because Bank of America operates on 10% proof of reserves and they need to get to 30% before Monday. So something has to give or Bank of America will break. And so this smells of a bank collapse unless they somehow can tokenize their assets and become super liquid in time. So XRP and XLM are the answers to the big bank liquidity issues. Listen to this.
Battle 3 Endgame. Yep. It sounds like a bad movie. Let's talk about it. Given what's proposed, do you think it will go through as proposed? And let's start with what's proposed. What are the conversations, what do they sound like between you and regulators at the moment?
I think there's an openness. You don't have to really take what I say. Just listen to the people who are going to actually have the vote. The people who actually have to approve it, and the difference of opinion, which is a bit unusual, honestly. I've been doing this stuff around 40 years, and I've never seen the board itself have out in the open divergence of opinion, and that's because what it affects is so penetrative across the society. Small business lending, mortgages, tax credit, equity deals, trading things. So a lot of what you heard after the financial crisis really had about 10 or 12 of us that were making adjustments that, and then another group came in behind. This goes deep in the thing. That's what you hear more noise. And of course, they're going to their Congress team, the people. They're going to the regulators and saying, "Wait a second, is this what you want to do?" And so, I think that means there's going to be debate around changing it and probably change, but we'll see it play out. And even the Fed itself has said that. Do they have to change it? Yes, because I don't think it's the right balance, and that's why the comment letters flooded in Tuesday or whenever it was, all over the place. And we've made the points clear. 20% increase our capital doesn't seem to make sense given where we are. Now we have $195 billion of regulatory capital. After you do this calculation, we need $195 billion of regulatory capital. All sounds easy, except for the $30 billion of his excess right now. You ought to be able to go out and make loans or do something. That's like $500 or $600 billion of lending capacity to just got taken away overnight. If this goes through, we're not sure that's the right judgment right now.
So guys, things are looking pretty sticky for Bank of America. We'll see how this plays out. And one thing that's interesting to know here is history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So you can see the CME Bitcoin Futures launched. Everyone bought the rumors, sold the news. Coinbase IPO'd, they bought the rumors, then sold the news. Futures ETF, they bought the rumors, probably a little more after that, sold the news. Spot Bitcoin ETF, it's nothing different. Buy the rumors, sell the news. Price is going down. Now, it could go up, but it'll most likely go down in the short term, but not that far. See, here's the key. When you're in doubt, what do? You zoom out, man. Look at the macro. Look right here. Where are we? We're in disbelief. And so last time we were in disbelief, these cycles like to repeat. And so you look at this cycle right here for the total 2, which is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, so all altcoins, all the way back in October of 2015, when we broke out of the disbelief stage right here, we were right here. So we saw a sell-off take place. And yes, the market cap of the altcoin was only $100 million, which is nothing, right? We dropped 31%. So when we dropped 31%, then we went into hope. Then we went into belief. This could have been belief, or this maybe was belief, thrill, optimism uphill, belief, thrill, and euphoria all the way up here. And then when we hit the bear market of 2018 to 2019, you can see the complacency right here with this dead cat bounce. You can see denial happening over here when the price was dropping below this support right here of April of 2018. So people were anxious right here when they were like, oh, we don't know if this support's going to hold. I mean, that's a big drop. Are we going to do this, or are we just going to continue to the downside? So the anxiety leads to denial. When you saw price break support and go down here, then we were in this capitulation event. One final capitulation took place to the bottom, and people were panicking during this stage, and people were angry because they had to liquidate their portfolios down here to pay for their girlfriend's, boyfriend's rent. And so after anger, comes what? The next stage. Well, not after anger actually comes depression. So then you're depressed, and then you go into disbelief again, right? So depression was COVID. So anger, then people are rallying out of here and they're pissed. This whole stage is arguably anger. And the reason why is because if you had to sell your crypto down here in anger and to pay your rent, then when the market's rallying right here, you're angry because you didn't hold any crypto while it's recovering. You're like, I had to sell, right? Isn't that frustrating? Do you guys have to go through that? I definitely had to go through that. I lost well over 6 figures, which is not that much money. Now looking at that, looking back, it's like how small amount of money that is. You can do like 100 grand in a trade, turn into $500,000, and it's not that big of a deal. Right, crypto has completely shifted how people look at money. Like if I go to Vegas, or like we're going to be going on a cruise here soon, play some blackjack. Like if I lose $100 in blackjack, I'm kind of pissed off. A little bit, right? I've learned to manage my emotions somewhat, but I'm more pissed off and I'm more angry if I lose $100 or $500 in blackjack than I am if I lose $50,000 or $100,000 in crypto, because it changes the way you look at money, how liquid it is. You can just buy and sell real quick, and you can see your portfolio drop really fast. So it is risky. And when you get into this market, it's easy to take on risk, but you have to take on calculated risk. So when you move in these markets and you enter, you're looking at the calculated risk based on the macro market cycle. And so when we look at the macro market cycle, what's happening here? Well, similar to that 2015, 2016 rally, we break out into disbelief. So we broke the high of 2019. Then what happened? We had to come back to back test it of about 27-30%. And so we're doing that again. We broke through the high of April of 2023, which is resistance. It was also the high of August of 2022. This zone right here, as you guys can see where anxiety was, right? So when we break down through anxiety, we go into panic, capitulation down here. If I move this over here, and then everyone's angry through this stage, right? Because they had to sell right here. They had to sell right here, and the price then rallies up, and then they're pissed off. And then finally, they might have some money from their job and they buy back in right here. And then we go into a final depression stage where the price goes even lower. So we're at $497 billion. And then we form a double bottom, right? And then we see a double bottom trend reversal where it looks like a W. You see this W formation, then we break this zone of resistance. We're in disbelief. So it's not abnormal to see the price come down 20-30%. So we could come all the way down to $650 billion market cap to back test, the bottom of this resistance, which would be right here, $650 billion. We're at $740 billion. So I wouldn't be surprised if into Bitcoin's halving, we just see the altcoin market do something like this in the disbelief rally down here. And then we start working our way out of here and we pop at the end of 2024 after Bitcoin's halving, and we go into hope. So if I were to draw the chart up to show you guys what that would look like, it would look something like this, right? Where you see the price come down for all of your favorite altcoins and people start freaking out. They start panicking and they start selling right here. And when they sell right here, they're not aware that we're about to go into the hope stage because the gross debt is projected to grow from 33 trillion to over $50 trillion, guys, by 2033. Let alone by 2025, how much money do you think they're going to pump into the markets with these ETF? I talked about this. I said the ETF, and I know you guys are aware of this too, the ETF hype is going to die off and they're going to search for the next narrative. And then the next narrative is going to be the Ethereum ETF. Then the narrative after that will probably be like central banking digital currencies. And that's when we'll see XLM, XDC, XRP start to rally and go crazy after this disbelief rally. They look in the psychology of a market cycle, almost identical, right? The complacency stage is this dead cat bounce where people think the market's going to recover, doesn't happen. Then we go into anxiety, denial. So these are moved a little bit out the way. So denial's down here. People are panicking down here. So they're denial down here. Capitulation could be over here or right here. You see a final capitulation event down to $400 billion. And then depression is when people have no money left and the markets are about to recover again. So we've seen that recovery happen for disbelief. And sure, the altcoin market does follow Bitcoin. So I am expecting a further sell-off to the downside, but the best thing that you can do in this situation and what to expect is hold, because I'm expecting us to go into the biggest bull run and see the most liquidity flow into this market. I'm expecting anywhere from $3 trillion to $10 trillion for the altcoin market. Why? Because the dollar is dying. The cash is trash. So if you survived Bitcoin crash from 69K to 15.4K, if you survive Luna going to zero by Do Kwon, if you survive 3AC going from 18 billion to zero, Celsius and Voyager going bankrupt, FTX and the FTT token meltdown, USDC, one of the most stable stablecoins depegging, Binance bank run, CZ stepping down, SEC suing everyone, 2-year bear market. Well, you can call yourself an OG now, because if you made it through that and you didn't sell, then nothing will faze you. And now if you've been around since 2016, 2017, you went through this bull run and you lost money or you didn't sell, and now you're going through this one, then you'll be completely fine. Nothing to worry about. You can, most of the time, guys, let's say you put in $10,000 into a project and it drops 80% if it's a smaller market cap. If you sell at an 80% loss, a lot of the times these projects recover not only back to your initial, but then a lot of these projects pull a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x beyond that. And that's why it's important just to hold the line, right? When in doubt, zoom out. Now, you don't want to hold forever. You don't want to hold and round trip your bags and hold through the bear market. You want to time these market cycle tops. And so where would the next top be? Well, if we just measure out from bottom to bottom or top to top, well, it's usually 3 years, actually 1 year from top to bottom, and then 3 years from bottom to top. So if I delete that, I zoom out here, where would the next top be for Bitcoin if I move it like this? Well, it would be roughly around the tail end of 2025. I'd have to zoom out on the chart right here, but the tail end of 2025. And so, sure, we could see a deeper correction if we see some pandemic. That would be disease X, for them to usher in some massive shakeout event, get everyone as fearful as possible, and then pump the markets to the moon. They could do that. Or it could just be a slight 30% correction. Then we go into hope. One of these two scenarios, deeper correction or small 30% correction, small 30%, right? And then we go into the hope stage. But either way, if you hold through it and you didn't invest more than you could afford to lose, you will be completely fine like a glass of wine. So, you know what we're doing, guys? We're backing up our truck all the way to the bank. We're grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind because we believe the spending power of the dollar, it's going to keep going down in value. That's a fact. Cost of living is going to continue to go up. So what are you going to do? You're going to go to bullrunners.com. You're going to discover our top altcoin picks first, and you're going to get early bird access to our financial education platform when that's released. You don't need any previous trading experience. Just click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be able to hang out with us, join our Telegram group for free, and get notified first. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I will see you on the next one. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.